So we've established it's going to be cold water. So how do you best cope with swimming in that cold water? Well, first and foremost, obviously, is your wetsuit. It's vital that your wetsuit is both a good quality wetsuit and also, crucially, it fits. Far too many people have a wetsuit that is slightly too big for them. And the problem with that is that cold water gets into the back of it and constantly flushes through the wetsuit and keeps you always cold. It's a big problem, and it's caused by a wetsuit that's slightly too big. So make sure you get a wetsuit that fits properly. Then we've also got thick neoprene shorts which go underneath your suit. These can be very helpful. They keep your core area warm and they're invaluable. On a similar theme is what we call a neoprene warmth vest. Again, underneath your wetsuit, that helps keep your core warm, which is crucial. Then we come on to other items which many of you will have actually used before. We've got socks or booties. Again, keep your feet warm, which is all important. And a neoprene skull cap, keeping your head warm. The last piece of kit which is important in this regard are good quality goggles. Far too many people turn up to races with old goggles which are either scratched or cloudy or both, and they can't see where they're going properly. So make sure you get a good new pair of goggles for the race. The final bit of kit that is relevant in this regard is actually what you will wear underneath your wetsuit, if anything. Many people will just have a complete change in transition into their bike kit, whereas other people will have something like this, which is this is actually an all-in-one tri-suit underneath the wetsuit, and they will go on to do the whole bike leg and even the run in this. Here we are in transition 1 or T1. We've just finished the swim and we're about to start on the bike. The swim's been cold, so we need to warm up and we need to prepare properly for what is a long bike course. How do you do that best? Here are some tips which I think you might find helpful. Firstly, I consider always in races like this in using arm warmers. They're a fantastic bit of kit, they're very light, they're easy to put on like this, and then once you begin to warm up you can either take them down or take them off completely. They're a great bit of kit and I would always use them. Next, your feet will be cold coming out of the swim, and in all likelihood will be cold at the start of the bike. So consider using toe covers on your bike shoes like this. There's no danger of getting too warm in them, but they're perfect for these sort of races. The next bit of advice is to have a tub like this in T1, and then inside it have a little bit of warm water. So when you come in out of the cold swim, you can put your feet in it and change out of your wetsuit with your feet in the warm water. It's a very helpful mental boost to have. When you're in the water and you're getting cold perhaps, you can think about this in transition and it really helps. Onto the bike. All important obviously is your race day bike. Everybody has their own preferences, but it's essential that you practice on your race day bike in advance of race day and you're completely comfortable with all the various systems that you're going to use. Let's have a look at this bike. This is a standard race day setup. Starting at the back here, we've got a bike bag, small bike bag, which has essential items in it like tubes, tyre levers, air canisters, Allen keys. Then moving forward, on this bike here, I have a water bottle, but inside that are my gels. So I have, in advance of race day, I have emptied my gels, like this. I've put a number of gels in. For a half Ironman, I've perhaps put 9 in. I've topped that up with water as well. And I find this a far better system than what other people do, which is have either gels in their back or attached to their bike. It's far easier to access your gel, and it's far easier to regulate the amount of gel that you want at a time. It's a much better system, I find. So that's what I'll be doing. At the front of the bike here, I don't add anything else in here, but what some people will be using is something like this. A little bike bag which goes here. Again, you can access things here. Things like gels, energy bars, and other items of nutrition. I won't be doing that, but it's a common thing for people to do, and it can be very helpful. Again, a key thing with this though is you make sure you practice with it beforehand. So many people I know only use it for a race and find that it moves about a bit and it can cause a bit of friction with the legs and it's a real pain. So make sure you practice with this and are completely comfortable actually with it on race day. The final thing I have on this bike is my water system. I have a system like this. There's other systems available. It's a good system. It allows you to take fluid gradually as you're biking in an aero position. And that will be my race day bike setup. Okay, we've come off the bike, we're about to start the run, and we're in T2, Transition 2. So what are the key things to get right in Transition 2? Well, the main thing is the kit you're carrying and how you carry that effectively. What I'll be using is one of these. Now they're called a number of things: hydration vest, race vest, hydration pack. Essentially, it's a very lightweight rucksack. There's lots of these available, and it's amazing how much stuff you can get in these. They're very comfortable to carry as well. A lot of people still use bum bags. For me, they're a problem because they clip over your stomach and they can affect your digestion. I'll be using one of these. And in here, I'll have all my compulsory kit, which is part of the race regulations. It's essential. And any additional kit that I need. So, I'll be having things in here like hats, gels. These are very useful. These are collapsible water bottles. Halfway up Ben Nevis there's a place called the Red Bun, which I have drunk out several times and I'm still fine, so it must be okay. Very useful to have this at that point, both up and down. Also, a buff. I always use a buff, sometimes two. They're great. You can put them on your head in a variety of ways and take them off crucially easily and put them on your wrist. On Ben Nevis, the temperature often changes quite a lot, so you can take it off and put it back on again easily. That's a very helpful piece of kit. It's very important that you practice with your race day kit again in advance of race day. If you buy one of these the day before, it may well chafe, etc, etc. You have to get used to running with this. It's a good system, but one that requires practice in advance.